Hey, I'm Hilton and I just want to give you guys some feedback on the service that I had on the Audi C4 A6 and what's been going on. Amongst a whole bunch of other things, I had the cam belt done, the water pump, the thermostat, lambda sensors were replaced, coolant was flushed out and changed to the GE12 coolant. The power steering fluid was changed and a whole bunch of other things. Obviously engine oil change as well. But one of the things that I had done was a transmission oil change, and I got the car back after 2 weeks. They had the car 2 weeks because I had to order quite a lot of the parts myself, and some of the parts were incorrect, and they told me that, and I ordered them. And unfortunately, when I got the car back, the transmission was driving smoother, I'll admit that, but there's a noise coming from the torque converter. I called them and they took the car back last week, and they flushed the transmission out because apparently the transmission had Dexron 2 oil in it, and they put oil that I got from Ravenol, which is equivalent to the G 052162A2 or A1 or A6 oil. I don't know if it was a bad idea with them mixing these oils, because they didn't tell me that the oil that was in the transmission was red, and the oil I supplied was VW Audi's own oil, or the equivalent thereof. Now, I couldn't buy the genuine oil or even a genuine oil filter for the transmission. I used a Bosch oil filter for the transmission, as well as a gasket for the sump and the O-ring as well, because it comes in a kit. Anyway, they flushed it out 3 times and they gave the car back to me last week, and it's still making that noise. So I don't know if the torque converter is trashed now. I mean, if it is, there's not much I can do about it because I can't get another one from Audi. And even if I buy a used one, I don't know how they're going to install it. I don't think Audi has the knowledge to install it, because they barely had the knowledge to do the oil change service on this car. They can do the newer cars, but they just can't do this car. So I don't know where I'm going to go with this car right now. I don't know whether I should sell it, get rid of it, or keep it, because I don't know how long the transmission is going to last. And it still changes fine. It's very, very smooth. It just makes this rattling noise when it's idling or when you put it in reverse or drive. And I've read on some of the forums that they say Dexron 3 is the correct oil to use. I suppose at some point from 1994 to 1995 they switched from Dexron 3 to from Dexron 2 to Dexron 3. But I don't know if I should maybe just change the oil again and put Dexron 3 in it and see if it makes any difference. I still need to chat with the service manager at the dealer to find out if we should do that. I do have another oil filter for it, and I can possibly, we can possibly try and go down that route and see if it's going to work or if it's going to have any difference whatsoever. But yeah, if any one of you out there have had this issue with one of these cars, if you've owned one of these and you've had an issue with an oil change after doing an oil change, I would appreciate it if you could pop something down in the comments, even if you have a link that you can take me to. But I've been on a lot of the forums and I've only found 3 articles on these cars where guys have had issues with changing the oil, and they changed the oil with Dexron 3. They didn't even use the G052162A2. So and there's a big difference in the oil because Dexron 3 as well is also, it's a mineral base, but it is synthetic. Whereas the G052 oil is purely synthetic. I don't know if maybe the torque converter is unhappy because the weight of the oil is different, or the viscosity of the oil is different. I would say that the fully synthetic oil probably is a lot thinner than the Dexron 3. Purely because of the fact that it is fully synthetic, but it's going to last longer and stretch your service intervals out. Whereas the Dexron 3 ZF actually say that you should change the oil every 30,000 kilometers, which is around every 20,000 miles. I don't mind doing that, but as long as I can get rid of this noise, because it's extremely worrying, and I don't know if the transmission or if the torque converter is going to get any worse. But as far as I'm concerned, the noise has stayed the same. I'm still driving the car and the noise is just the same. It's not getting any worse. It's also not going to get better. If any of you have experienced this issue out there, I would greatly appreciate some input. If you have any insights to give, I have inserted a pause in the video so that I can show you guys exactly what it's doing and where the noise is coming from. But yeah, I just want to thank you all for watching. If any of you don't own one of these cars and you've watched, I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your support, and supporting the channel does keep the channel alive. And I do have quite a few videos I still have to do on my other Audi A6, the grey one. The car is looking absolutely awesome right now, but I've got a lot of things that I still need to do to it, and I just haven't gotten around to doing them. And filming actually makes the jobs take up to 3 times longer because I've got to set the camera up in different positions and everything while I'm doing it. So I'm going to try and get to that in September. There will be more videos on the C6, A6, and probably less on the C4. I don't know if I'm actually going to keep this car any longer, but would appreciate if anyone out there does know anything about this issue, and if you can give me some advice. Even if you work for a transmission company and you can give me some advice, I appreciate it. So thank you very much, and thanks for watching. Cheers.